gentlemen? I just got this handed to me. A hit-and-run felony at Ray's Cafe, 208 North Los Angeles. Got a patrolman on site. The coroner's on his way. Get down there, see if you can find any witnesses who can put a make on the car.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
That bum took a swipe at me. Put him down in my sap.
They weren't even his prints, and he still confessed.
I don't want to be rude, but I ain't got time for talk.
Looks like the DA is going to press charges. Anna Rodriguez might do time.
I'll speak to the DA. She suffered enough.
I don't know, Cole. She's an easy make, and the DA likes conviction.
I'll convince him to live here.
How you do that?
I'll give him something better.
Detectives, over here.
Cole Phelps, traffic. What have we got?
Vic is a white male named Lester Patterson. Walked out of the bar and into the street. Car hit over there, and he ended up here. Dead on impact by the look of it.
Have you canvassed the area?
The only one with anything useful to contribute is the young lady over there. She lives above the bar. Name is Shannon Perry. No, it's not a stage name. 24 years old, she left Kansas to follow the Yellow Brick Road.
Is that so?
We'll take a formal statement later. Right now, we're going to take a look around. Well, landed on his face and ended up here. The car must have struck him from behind. Patterson has life insurance. We can notify next of kin. What have you got on the victim?
From all reports, he was intoxicated at the time of the accident. I'll know how intoxicated once I've done the autopsy. Looking him over now, I'd say he died on impact.
What about the chest wound? Isn't that inconsistent?
Very common in auto injuries. Look for a car with a prominent hood ornament. Those things are killers.
Body traveled a good 20 feet. blood is a long way from the body. The car must have been going like a bat out of hell. So the driver managed to brake before the impact.
It's all yours, Detective.
I'm Detective Phelps of the LAPD.
How can I help, Detective?
Name would be a good start.
Dudley Lynch. Hired help. I run the place when the owner ain't around.
Where is the owner?
He stepped out. Somebody had to take Lorna, Mrs. Patterson, home.
What can you tell me about the accident?
Not a lot. It was busy in here, and all I heard was the impact.
So what was he doing outside? It's against licensing regulations to drink on the sidewalk.
Lester and Lorna were having a fight. The owner made him take it outside. It was pretty ugly.
Do you know the victim?
Yeah. Lester Patterson. He's a regular here, or he was.
Why do I get the feeling you're holding out on me?
I'm not trying to hide anything. Just if it's all the same to you, I'd rather not speak ill of the dead.
Miss Perry?
Yes?
I'm Detective Phelps. This is my partner, Detective Bukowski. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I came to the window because I heard people arguing downstairs.
You're already at the window. You're nosy, aren't you, Miss Perry?
Do you want my help or don't you?
What kind of car was it?
A dark red Lincoln Continental.
It's pretty dark, Miss Perry. You sure about the car?
Of course I'm sure. My Uncle Bernie has one just like it back in Topeka.
Tell me more about the argument you heard.
Well, there were two voices. A man and a woman, that's all.
That's a nice story, Miss Perry, but it's not what really happened.
You think I'm making this up? I'm not a silly little kid. I don't tell tales just to get attention.
It's in your best interest to work with the LAPD, ma'am. One day you'll find yourself in trouble and needing a cop.
You certainly got away with the dames, Phelps.
Give it a rest, Bukowski.
Let's see what the patrons have to say.
Wrinkled was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
A witness overheard an argument.
Lester and Lorna. There's nothing like airing your dirty laundry in public, is there?
What was it about?
Who knows? The slightest thing could set those two off.
Stalling just makes us more inquisitive, Lynch. We'll get to the bottom of this, with or without you. That guy has a serious attitude problem. You get anything out of the regulars?
They weren't giving too much away.
They liked
Careful where you
watching
step,
Lester and
Phelps.
Lorna go a few
I don't come down
rounds
to the
every other
station
day.
house and tap dance
And
on
Lester
your
was a
desk.
fan of the Love Tap.
I swear, this town is going straight to hell.
In all my years, I've never seen anything like this.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a list of dark red Lincoln Continentals.
Just a moment. This is going to be quite a list, Detective.
Cross-check for registered addresses. Top of the pile, anything from the downtown area. Around Bunker Hill.
One moment. Fred Murray, 120 South Olive Street, between 1st and 2nd Street. Harris Jones, number 1 Dillon Lane. William Shelton of 738 West Temple Street. That's all for downtown. You got that, Detective?
Thanks, ma'am.
Might call for some legwork, but it's better than nothing.
I'm busy now. Can I ignore you some other time?
So the wife was there when it happened, then left the scene.
You're right. That's pretty unusual behavior.
She could be in shock. I saw some people do some strange things in the war.
Maybe she doesn't give a fuck. According to the patrons, her old man was a piece of work.
You don't think...
Phelps, the guy was run over. So it worked out well for this broad. So what? Maybe she deserved to catch a break. No.
Any central unit, 459 with possible suspects inside at 829 South Olive. Unit to handle code 2 identified.
It's not our vehicle. This thing's been gathering dust for months. Let's try the next one. Can you drive to this one? Do we know where we're going?
I just don't know how to dance to bebop.
That's the son of a bitch right there. William Shelton?
Yes?
It doesn't look good, Shelton. You packing your bags and making a run for it? You know why we're here.
Yes. The accident.
We've got witnesses who can put this car at the scene, not to mention the physical damage. This is open and shut, Shelton.
That coward thinks he can run from everything.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
No wonder he killed someone, driving like this. Don't let that asshole get away.
Lay into his wheel arch. Come on.
That coward thinks he can run from everything.
Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out.
No wonder he killed someone, driving like this.
Lay into his wheel arches. Come on.
Don't let that asshole get away. on, get after it!
Hold it right there, Sheldon! How does a vehicular manslaughter rap sound, Sheldon?
I hit him. I admit it. I just panicked, but it wasn't my fault.
What do you mean?
The guy jumped right out in front of me. He came out of nowhere. There's nothing I could do about it.
Why didn't you stop?
I've had accidents before.
That's it. We're done here. The DA is gonna love you.
They weren't all my fault. I'm a surveyor. I need my license for my job. There were people around. A woman and a man were standing right next to him. I thought they could get him to a hospital. I'm telling you, it's not my fault.
The guy is dead, Sheldon.
You can't be serious.
William Shelton, you're coming downtown. We need to talk about a manslaughter charge. Leave the coroner and the paperwork. Procedure can wait. We should probably go speak to the wife and let her know what's happening.
Okay. You become all heart at the prospect of paperwork, don't you?
You can drive. All right. Where to?
Do you believe him?
I believe he didn't mow down the victim on purpose. The rest of it stinks. His boo-hoo story about being a surveyor and not wanting to lose his license.
Well, we'll see how he enjoys surveying the same tiny room for the next 10 years of his life. You make a mistake, you face the consequences. You don't run off and hide like some little girl hoping it'll all go away.
People make bad decisions in the heat of the moment.
Well, I'd like to see him try that one on the judge. If he had time to clock who's...
Yes? Hello?
Mrs. Patterson.
Is this about my husband?
We're investigating the incident, ma'am.
I see. Come in, won't you?
We wanted to give you the facts about the accident, ma'am.
I appreciate that, but I think I know most of them already, Detective. He was hit by a car, now he's dead. What more is there to tell?
Pardon me, but you don't appear to be too upset about it.
Lester and I met on a furlough in '44. We got married that weekend. People don't understand it now, but that happened a lot back then.
I see. So you probably did well to stick together this long.
What's that supposed to mean, mister? I think it's about time you left. I have someone here, and
Beg your pardon? You're gonna have to run that one by us again, sister.
It's okay, Lorna. I'm Leroy Sabo.
Well, well. Nice to see you're comforting the grieving widow, Mr. Sabo.
All right, wise guy. Do you have any intelligent questions you would like me to answer?
You can confirm Mrs. Patterson's story.
Lester lost at cards. He was kind of hard to control when he lost his temper. He turned without looking and walked right out in front of the car. It wasn't good.
What's your relationship with Mrs. Patterson, Mr. Sabo?
We're friends. Good friends.
You expect me to believe that?
Look, I was filing for divorce. Mental cruelty. Lester could be a mean son of a bitch.
And Lester knew about that?
No, I hadn't told him.
Well, hasn't this worked out well for the two of you? I feel almost bad for busting in on this little rendezvous.
How did the car come to hit Lester?
He walked straight into the path of an oncoming car.
You're lying, Lorna. You pushed him in front of the car.
If you think you can prove that, I suggest you arrest me now. would have loved to push him under a car many a time, but not this time.
You were arguing in the bar and on the sidewalk?
We were always arguing. So what?
Admit it, you were baiting him, pushing his buttons. We can easily get the full story from the regulars in the bar.
All right. Lester was playing cards out back. He lost, of course, and wanted back in. He suggested I earn the money on my back to get a mistake. That was the proposition he was putting to his so-called buddies. So maybe I was a little angrier than usual. Let's just say I took exception to his idea.
We're leaving, Lorna, but this doesn't add up. We'll be keeping an eye on you. Come on, Phelps. Let's make ourselves scarce.
I'm out of here, Lorna. I got a business to run.
You think Mal is done with the autopsy? Better call it in and check, Phelps. Between the driver and the widow, I say we start dealing with the facts.
The ACB network presents...
Get this morning's edition hot off the press. Extra, read all about it.
Isn't that the cop who solved the big...
You need to take this up with Leroy.
That price is outrageous.
I'm going up to the lakes to watch the races on Saturday. He's dull as dishwater, but I'm not with him for the conversation.
Let me guess. Hiding from the wife?
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Messages, please.
Just one detective from the coroner. Message reads, Phelps, see me at Central Morgue immediately. Results of the Pattison autopsy.
Thanks for your help.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Get this morning's edition hot off the press.
For times of your favorite programming, including the Los Angeles Mirror and the Los Angeles Independent.
Three blondes walk into a bar. You think one of them would have seen it? That's the guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
We can put the driver in front of a judge in less than a week.
You'd be making a big mistake.
Run that by me again?
The victim was dead before the car hit him. 2 puncture wounds to the right side of the thorax. Second puncture reached his heart.
You're kidding me.
Been doing this job 23 years, son. No one's ever laughed at one of my jokes.
He was stabbed to death?
Long, sharp knife, length of a bayonet.
So the hit and run was a cover-up?
I'd say he was stabbed twice at very close quarters. Both wounds thrusting upwards and then pushed in front of the car.
Easy, Tiger.
Clever, really. I almost missed it. But the trajectory of the wounds was all wrong if he was impaled by the hood ornament. Find the knife, detectives.
Yes, sir.
It all comes back to the crime scene. We need to hit Ray's one more time and trawl for evidence.
You know the way. You can drive.
So where you want to go?
So there was some truth to Sheldon's cock and bull story after all.
He didn't stop, but he didn't kill Patterson either.
I'm no betting man, but I know where I'd put all my chips.
The grieving widow and her shoulder to cry on.
Now all we need is a murder weapon.
Carruthers will confirm this as the murder weapon. Let's talk to Leroy. See him explain his way out of this. Leroy Sabo, you're under arrest for the murder of Lester Patterson.
Not gonna happen, fellas. Go! I'll bring the car around and head him off. It's too late, Sabo.
Sabo, stop or I will shoot! Whoa!
Is that a backfire? He's making for the roof, Cole! The fire escape, quick! You look spooked, Phelps. I thought you'd been under fire before.
It never gets any easier, Bukowski. Have patrol pick up Mrs. Patterson.
So, I give you a hit and run. You bring me back fraud, conspiracy, and first-degree murder. This is how a good detective operates, Phelps. You take nothing at face value. You keep digging and asking questions until you get to the truth.
My family runs a shipping business in San...
Phelps, Bukowski, you have a new case. 2 women, possible drink drive.
How is that a case?
The broad says she was doped and that somebody tried to kill her.
Where did this take place?
That's the bit you're gonna love. Right across the street.
What?
A Chevy Styline took a nosedive off the escarpment, fetched up underneath a Cola King billboard. Up to it, boys. We got bad guys to catch.
Hey, I gave his wife a tap. I said all's fair in love and war.
See you later, fellas. Try not to work too hard.
Look at you, dancing with the bird. Tear to my eye watching my caterpillar grow.
I'm just trying to fit in.
Educated, hardworking, straight as an arrow. I was breaking these goals and never fit in.
Careful! God damn maniac!
Her face looks familiar. Well, that's June Ballard, Tarzan's sister, beast of the Amazon. She's married to Guy McAfee. The captain has moved to Vegas now, but the 2 of them still have juice. Phelps, traffic.
Detective Phelps. Hey, Bukowski. Long time no see.
You could have called this in by megaphone, Enrique. Phelps, this is Enrique Gonzalez. Enrique was a pretty decent middleweight. What do we have, Gonzalez?
Broad drives right through the empty lot and off the side of the escarpment. Her story is that a movie producer doped her and her friend and sent the car over the cliff.
Was anyone hurt?
Driver's beat up. Not too bad considering. If she hadn't hit that billboard, you'd be scraping both of them off the pavement. Passenger's a Jessica Hamilton. She's just a kid. She's pretty knocked around.
Kid gonna be all right?
I think so. They've taken her to central receiving. If you want to take a look around, you can stall the ambulance.
Thanks. Do that.
One more thing. Watch out for the driver. She cuts rough.
This ain't the red carpet, so get out of my lens.
If you're looking for the coroner, he's down by the crash site.
Mrs. McAfee, we would like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
I prefer to use my maiden name, June Ballard. You might be familiar with some of my work.
Can you tell us what happened here?
You're kind of cute for a cop. Maybe a bit on the serious side.
What about me, June? I'm a big fan of Beast of...
I don't like. Keep out of this.
We understand that you're still suffering from the effects of the accident, Mrs. McAfee. The officer says that you claimed that you were drugged. Who did this to you?
That rat slipped us a Mickey Finn. It's no wonder I feel so dopey. I can't remember.
I don't believe you, Mrs. McAfee. The story's too far-fetched. I think you were drunk and lost control of the car.
Well, I suggest you get the results of a blood test first before you go shooting off your mouth. Unless you have some other proof. Well, I could drink you under the table any day of the week and still be fine to drive home. Be careful. I'm starting to dislike you.
This is a big scene, Phelps. We need to get our bearings. Let's go see the coroner.
You'll want to see this, Phelps. There, laid out on the trunk. And that isn't even the best part.
They've been torn off. Where did you find them?
They were stuffed in the young lady's handbag. I'll run a trace for semen when I get back to the lab.
She's a long way from home. Looks like they're lucky they weren't more badly injured.
Must have been unconscious. Being relaxed tends to lessen the soft tissue damage.
What can you tell us about the passenger in your car?
Jessica Hamilton. Poor Jessica. It's been a rough day for her. She's desperate to break into movies. What more can I say?
How old is Jessica, Mrs. Ballard?
I couldn't say how old Jessica is. Old enough, sweetheart, as the saying goes. Obviously, you're a little green.
This is a big scene, Phelps. We need to get our bearings. Let's go see the coroner.
Advice?
This is a big scene, Phelps. We need to get our bearings. Let's go see the coroner.
I heard this is a triple homicide. Is that true?
Officer, please tell me what's going on.
want to see. Excuse me, officer, I want to see.
Drunk driver?
Maybe not.
How so?
Well, a head I found without a body piqued my interest. See what you think.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. Is it real?
No. I think it's supposed to be a replica of an Indian shrunken head. It's some kind of curio or movie prop. See the casting marks?
What's it made from?
Plaster of Paris would be my first guess, then painted.
So we can rule out the murder angle?
No, you can rule that in. That thing was wedging the accelerator to the floor. Whoever did it wanted these women dead.
We should speak to Ballard again.
Never the same.
She might not be telling us the whole story.
We found a shrunken head. It was used to tamper with your car.
You see, I normally don't drive off cliffs. The last thing I remember is getting behind the wheel.
It's obviously some kind of movie prop. You must know where it came from.
In case you hadn't noticed, I am the talent. And the talent doesn't deal with props or sets or any of that kind of stuff. Why don't you ask Mark Bishop which prop house he uses?
You mentioned a Mark Bishop. You think he might have had something to do with this?
He is a movie producer. As for his involvement, you just leave it to me and my husband to worry about.
I want to know what happened between you two that made him want to commit a double murder.
Bishop offered me a part in his picture. Then he withdrew it. Fact is, we had a deal. I pressed him on it, and this is where I end up.
Mrs. McCaffrey, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if you accompanied Patrolman Gonzalez back to the receiving hospital.
I'm being taken in?
You could say that.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that you are under the influence of narcotics and that you are withholding information from the police.
My husband is going to want a word with you, Sonny Jim.
I think we're good here. Let's go see what we can shake out of the kid.
Officer, please tell me what's going on.
Hey, I think I see a body.
You're behind the wheel.
KGPL to car 11K, 11K.
11K Roger, en route.
You can drive. Hello, Detective Phelps, here to interview a Jessica Hamilton.
Jessica Hamilton. Oh, yes. She's in the room right behind you, Detective.
You can't hold me here. No, I don't need to be manhandled by
Feeling
a
better
doctor.
since this
I
morning,
need my
Jessica?
lawyer.
A little.
Where is
My head still feels funny.
Do you know who I am?
Hello, Jessica. My name is Colt Phelps. I'm a policeman. I'd like to talk to you about your accident, if that's okay.
Okay.
Can you tell me what you remember about the crash?
It's all kind of fuzzy. I remember waking up here. Nothing happened yesterday.
You're holding out on me, Jessica.
Please, I want my doctor. I'm not sure I can answer any more questions right now.
We need to get in touch with your parents, Jessica, to tell them what has happened.
Oh, you don't need to worry them. They sent me along to stay with Aunt June. They trust her to take care of me.
You're lying, Jessica. How are we going to make this right if you lie to us?
Please, Detective, why would I lie to you?
Because you're a runaway, Jessica, and you don't have your parents' permission to be here. Now, do you want to tell me what really happened?
I went with Junie to this strange place. It's difficult to remember. Someone gave me a drink to calm my nerves, and then I felt faint. I think I must have passed out.
How did you meet Mr. Bishop?
Well, Junie is a big movie star. You probably know that. She's doing a new movie.
What's the story with Bishop and Miss McCaffrey? Why does he want the two of you dead?
That can't be true. Mr. Bishop seemed very happy today. I mean, yesterday.
And that's why he wedged a shrunken head against the accelerator pedal and punted the two of you over an escarpment.
I overheard Junie speaking to him on the phone a couple of times. Screaming, really. She can be very hard sometimes, Junie. But they seemed okay yesterday, like they worked it out.
I know what happened to you, Jessica. Where exactly did it take place?
Please, it's scary. It's really difficult to think of anything.
God damn it, tell the truth, Jessica.
I am telling the truth. I don't know where the place is. I barely know the city. I think you should leave now. You're being horrible to me.
Thank you, Jessica. You've been a big help. Here's my card. If you think of anything, you need some help, just get in touch, okay?
Okay.
I think it might be a good idea if you went back home until you felt better, Jessica.
I couldn't do that, officer. What if I got the part and I wasn't there?
It's the tale of this town full lamb willingly to slaughter. Who the hell is that?
Must be your lawyer. He certainly expedited her release.
I don't like it, Colt. Why is she in such a hurry? We should follow her. There she goes. Come on.
way too close. Now would be a bad time to get out of drive, Cole.
She seems to have made a remarkably speedy recovery. Get in there and see what she's up to.
That's one heck of a Sunday.
Get in there and see what she's up to.
Root beers all around, dog.
No, I don't want him to have a lesson. No, no, no. Well, then make someone else do it. You still know people, don't you? Then make some calls. I'm going to be very clear about this. You get this done, or I'm... Wilson's here to help. Mr. Mark Fisher, that son of a bitch, lives in my painting. Sure, I got the film.
She didn't stop to like refreshments. She made a call.
Sounds like Mark Fisher is keep him from trouble.
Take it easy, fellas. I'd rather get there in 120.
Got it, rest. Got it, as far away from possible.
Yeah, that's it.
I think she was scoped out of her tiny mind getting the cat out. That fucking bitch Ballard sold her out. Well, Ballard was doing someone a favor. Why try to kill her? I tried to stop them. It's really made a free left out of the elevator. Sounds like about to make that hazardous terrible. No witnesses. Give it up! LAPD! Are you injured, Mr. Bishop?
I'm all right now. It's horrible, awful men.
Perhaps you sit down, ma'am.
Yes. Forgive me, officers. I'm very flushed. I'll just sit down for a moment.
That's perfectly normal, ma'am. Take a moment while we run around.
Yes. Just look at this mess.
Great, all replica. have to do to earn $20,000? Those men, I think they work for Guy McAfee. Know the name?
No. Why should I?
June Ballard married Guy McAfee. Have you heard of her?
That slut. She's been badgering my husband for days.
Mrs. McAfee alleges that your husband tried to kill her and her friend last night. I think you should tell us what you know.
My husband's a movie producer. This has something to do with his picture. He doesn't include me in his business.
June Ballard said she had a deal to be in his new picture.
Mark repeatedly told her no. He had Joe Leslie lined up for the role. That's how he got finance. June made all kinds of threats. She was very rude to me.
No, June Ballard.
We were both on the same picture a few years back. That's how I met my husband.
Why is your husband paying Lorna Hopgood $20,000?
Lorna? Marlon's ex-wife? Are you sure?
Lying, Mrs. Bishop. It's some kind of payoff. You know exactly what the money is for and who it's getting paid to.
Do I? Would you like to prove that, detective?
Sorry. Sometimes you have to shake the tree to see what falls out.
You're wrong, detective. My husband is a miscreant. That doesn't mean he feels shame for what he does. He would never tell me. Grateful for your help, officer, but it's time we went and brought this business mark to a close.
It's a set. Hollywood's own little piece of Babylon. Nothing significant. presented to Mark.
This isn't. Looks like I'm a mermaid in the background. Silver screen.
These men in the picture.
My husband, Mark, and Marlon Hopgood, they work together on occasion. That's Hopgood's shop.
Where can we find your husband, ma'am?
He told me he would be on set. That's all I know.
Either we find him, or McAfee's going to do, Mrs. Bishop. If you care for him, you should make sure that we find him first.
I do care for him. But I don't really know where he'd go if he were in trouble. Hopgood might know.
Your husband is in trouble. It could go easier for him if you were more helpful, Mrs. Bishop.
He's a big boy, detective, and so are you. This is Hollywood. There's always a deal to be done.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a location on a silver screen prop store.
Just a moment. Silver Screen Props, corner 3rd and Figueroa.
Thank you.
An aging movie star, a wannabe starlet, and movie producer's wife. We're finally rubbing shoulders with the almost rich and famous.
And from the stories they've given us, clearly none of them can act.